A lot of artists in the rap game have aliases, but no one did it quite like Mac Miller. He had a variety of different aliases for different purposes. Some alter egos would produce, some would make their own albums, and some even went to jail. Some were more well known by fans of Mac, and others were much more mysterious. Today I'm going to be covering all of Mac Miller's aliases, all the way from Larry Fisherman and Delusional Thomas to Luther Huckleby and Parson Brown. One of my favorite YouTube channels, Converse With Me, has covered a few of Mac Miller's alter egos already, and I advise checking those videos out if you want to go a bit more in depth with a couple of these alter egos. But with this video I want to go a little deeper in his list of aliases and cover every single alias that Mac Miller has appeared under. So let's hop into it. If you count this, Easy Mac with the cheesy raps was Mac Miller's first ever rapper alias and released his first mixtape, But My Mackin' Ain't Easy, under the name Easy Mac in 2007 when he was just 15 years old. Larry Fisherman is probably Mac's most well-known alias. This is the alias that Mac Miller would often produce under. Larry Fisherman produced a ton of music. He produced the majority of Mac Miller's Faces, some songs from Watching Movies with the Sound Off, and some other Mac Miller songs. He released 2 beat tapes called Run-On Sentences Volume 1 and 2. The last track on each beat tape featured vocals from Mac Miller. He also released a collab tape with Vince Staples called Stolen Youth. Larry Fisherman has also produced tracks like The End Is Near by Ab Soul, Strawberries by Jid, AM/Radio by Earl Sweatshirt, and many more. I had no idea he produced AM/Radio by Earl because that's my favorite Earl song off of his album I Don't Like Shit, I Don't Go Outside. Mac said in an interview that he was in a public studio and had to leave, but he didn't have a hard drive or a flash drive or anything on him and had to save his music on the public studio computer there. So when he saved it, he didn't want anyone to know who he was, so he tried to pick the most unassuming name he could think of, which ended up being Larry Fisherman. And that's how all the Larrys were born. You might be wondering what I mean when I say all the Larrys, but don't worry, we'll cover that in this video. Mac also created multiple backstories for a lot of his aliases. In Larry Fisherman's case, he was a quiet commercial fisherman with a family, but when the sushi business took over, he wasn't catching the right fish and had to switch over to making beats. Delusional Thomas is Mac's darker alter ego that raps. As we know, Mac Miller uses his alter egos to express himself in a way that the Mac Miller brand cannot. Because of that, he used Delusional Thomas to express his darker thoughts. Delusional Thomas rapped with pitched vocals and has made appearances on Watching Movies with the Sound Off, Faces, and more. He released one self-titled project that was fully produced by Larry Fisherman, featuring artists like Bill Waves, Dash, Earl Sweatshirt, and even Mac Miller. Not sure how he got that feature. Like the Persona, it was a very dark album. The reason that Mac probably didn't want to express his dark thoughts under the name Mac Miller can probably be figured out by Delusional Thomas's song Halo when he says, "You mentioned something sick and twisted, everybody panicky." In terms of backstory, Mac describes Delusional Thomas as a psychopathic murderer. I think the song Grandpa Used to Carry a Flask is the peak usage of Mac Miller's alter egos because it's a song by Delusional Thomas, produced by Larry Fisherman, featuring Mac Miller. Larry Lovestein is another one of Mac Miller's Larry alter egos. Mac wanted to make a different type of music, which was love music, so he created Larry Lovestein. He released one EP called You by Larry Lovestein and the Velvet Revival. The EP was fully produced by Mac Miller and it was about, you guessed it, love. The project was a jazz-inspired project with Mac, or I guess Larry, singing throughout the entire project. Larry Lovestein also released another song apart from the EP called Rain Clouds that was produced by Larry Fisherman. When it comes to Larry Lovestein's backstory and personality, Mac describes him as representing the love in everybody, the mystery of love, and things like that. Fans think that Mac Miller just seamlessly included Larry Lovestein into his regular discography in songs like ROS and the entirety of The Divine Feminine. Larry Dallas is the last of Mac's Larry alter egos. He produced the song Plane Car Boat by Mac Miller featuring Schoolboy Q, and that was the only song that Larry Dallas ever made. Not much else is known about Larry Dallas other than his personality. Mac says he had a rough past, was in jail, and was trying to better himself and the world with music. This is the only Larry without his own project, but fans theorize that Mac was including him in his own music. Reddit user Easy E Dizzle suggests that Larry Dallas may be based off of a character from Three's Company named Larry Dallas, who was a scammer who boasted about his success to women. That's why fans theorize that Larry Dallas was present in instances where Mac showed self-confidence, like in some songs on Good AM. INR stands for I'm Not Real and was an alias that Mac used to release one song. It was also the alias he used for one of his Tumblr pages. The song he released under the alias was called High. He released it on his YouTube channel Luther Huckleby, which has 729 subscribers at the time of recording. It has distant pitch down vocals accompanied with a nice piano melody and hard-hitting drums. It's a really good song, but it's somewhat eerie. He also has another channel called Luther Huckleby where he has 2 pretty popular videos of him just messing around in his room. Who knows how many more random and undiscovered YouTube channels Mac had for his fans to find in the future. Parson Brown is one of the most interesting and mysterious aliases on this list. He's listed as a producer for the song Dono from Swimming and the song Buttons. As of now, his Twitter has 204 followers. People think that the Parson Brown persona is based off of the Parson Brown from Winter Wonderland, which is believed to just be another placeholder name, kind of like John Doe. Mac has said before that he likes the idea of not having an identity, and maybe his mysterious Parson Brown persona was him attempting that. Parson Brown has a Twitter with only a few tweets. The first is a link to the THX movie intro thing, and the second being a link to the song Buttons. Almost all the tweets that he liked were people talking about how much they liked the beat on Buttons. He then tweets produced Dono with John Bryan. Then his final tweet was got some more things in the pipeline, which is actually really sad when you think about it because he died just a couple of weeks later. This is the alter ego of Max that we know the least about, and I can only imagine what else Parson Brown had in the pipeline. Mac also had some much more fun aliases that really didn't have anything to do with his music. He used to call himself Lars on his once secret Instagram page, Cloudy with a Chance of Awesome 69. I love that username, it sounds like something I would have made in middle school. On this account, he would just post vape tricks and vape related content. He also identified himself as Smoke Mo Perp on a song called 448 by DJ Clockwork. He posted it on his SoundCloud in 2013 and says in his verse, "My new rap name is Smoke Mo Perp," although it didn't end up sticking. Mac Miller had many aliases and alter egos, and unlike most rappers with aliases, Mac was extremely creative with his, using each one of his for a specific purpose, whether it was heartfelt or funny. It's very possible that Mac Miller had even more aliases, alter egos, or accounts that we fans are not aware of, and it would be awesome to find in the future. Let me know your favorite Mac Miller alter ego in the comments below, or if I missed any. My personal favorite aliases have to be Larry Fisherman and Delusional Thomas, because Delusional Thomas put out a great album, and Larry Fisherman was one of my favorite producers. If you like this video, you might like my video, The Lost Songs of Mac Miller, where I cover Mac's missing and lost work. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Matty Balls, and I'll see you guys next time.